Hi everyone, it's Shannon. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share with you this China cabinet makeover, so make sure to stay tuned to the end and I will share with you the before and the after complete makeover. Of course, I'm going to walk you through all the steps of how I transformed it in this tutorial. And just to let you know that this cabinet was given to us and it was not necessarily the style that I was hunting for. Initially, I really didn't want a glass front china cabinet just because of the glare on the glass. I also wanted to add a coffee maker to this and there was just not enough room with the doors. So the very first thing I did was to take the glass shelves out and then I started some demo on this cabinet. I will say that it is an old cabinet, but it is not an antique, so I didn't feel too bad about making it over. It is all wood, so it's a solid, nice piece, and you are not going to believe the before and after. Now the doors had some support brace pieces in the front, so I took my multi-tool to this and then quickly realized that there were some screws coming up from the bottom into those brace pieces. I tried to use that multi-tool and a crowbar and pry all of this off the front, but definitely needed Brian's help to take this whole top off, lay it down on its side so that I could get to those screws. So here's a look at it after we got the glass and the door off of the front. I also took this opportunity to fill in some holes with some spackling while Brian worked on taking the very bottom shelf off. I did end up keeping the top shelf. I did remove all of the hardware off of this piece. I'm going to be reusing some of it and then getting a brand new for other parts of it, which you'll see a little bit later on. And I also removed the doors and the has a lot of furniture polish on it and residue just built up over time, so I went ahead and used a deglosser to run it over all the surfaces. This just pretty much takes that gloss off, gives your base a little bit of adhesion for your paint to stick to. So this is not necessarily something you have to do before you chalk paint everything, but for a piece this size, I definitely didn't want any of my chalk paint flaking off or chipping, so I went ahead and did the deglosser. It's super quick and easy. You just put some on a clean cloth. You can see I'm using gloves to apply it too. You don't want to get it on your hands or your skin, so it does take quite a bit of the gunk and the grease and the buildup off. So I recommend this. It doesn't take a whole lot and it's pretty inexpensive too. All right, so let me stop for a second so I can show you in detail what I'm using to paint this cabinet with. And that is this chalk paint by Kilz. It's just from Walmart. And I'm using the color Platinum Ring. Walmart right now does not have a lot of paint stocked, and especially chalk paint. So they didn't have white, and they only had like another really like dark black color. So this is what I've decided to go with based on the choices that I had. And then to actually apply the paint, I'm using this Vintage Tonality paintbrush set. So I've used this, as you can see, on different furniture pieces. I got it from Amazon. I will make sure to link this down in the description box. It comes with a few different paint brushes, as you can see, to kind of get down into the detail, which I am definitely going to need because of the dental molding up there at the top, as well as the detail on the door fronts and things like that. But I love this set because it comes with a natural soap, so you can reuse your paintbrushes and keep them nice. And they come with other little things too, but check the description box for those if you're interested. Like I said, the paint is just from Walmart. And then let me show you my plan for the china cabinet. So now that I have my piece prepped, I am gonna add a little bit more painter's tape because the back, I love the look of this slatted vertical lines that are going on. It's kind of like a beadboard. So I thought instead of painting it all the same color, I would paint that white so it look more like traditional beadboard. And then also the shelf I'm gonna paint white too, so it kind of all blends together on the inside. But the outside is what is going to get the Platinum Ring gray color. So even the shelf down here and the insides and all the drawer fronts and the door fronts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work and finally start painting. Now I did decide I was gonna go ahead and keep the hardware from the doors, but I was gonna purchase new drawer pulls for the drawer fronts. So I am spray painting the door hardware with 2 coats of black spray paint, and then I also sealed them with a coat of clear matte finish. All right, so let me update you here. I ended up adding 3 coats of the gray chalk paint to everything, minus the back. That's my next step. The first coat goes on a little bit slow because you gotta make sure you cover everything. The second coat goes a little bit quicker. And the third coat, I just kind of wiped it on here and there to make sure I had everything covered. And I've let it sit for a few hours. I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the tape off the windows in the back. And then I'm gonna start working on painting the white that's gonna go on the shelf and that backer. So as you can see, this is after 1 coat of the white. It did take me 3 coats total to make sure everything was covered. And then while those coats were drying in between, I came back in and re-added the hardware that I had painted black, and it just gave it such a beautiful updated look. I did have to wait a couple days for my new hardware to arrive in the mail from Amazon, but here is the look at the before and then the after with the new drawer pulls. I will make sure to put those down in the description box if you're interested in those. But as you can see, it was a huge transformation for something that was a little bit retro to something that is more modern and updated in that beautiful farmhouse finish. I had so much fun recreating this piece. It really went from something kind of retro to much more modern. It's the biggest furniture piece I've ever made over, and I had so much fun. I cannot wait to do a big piece like this again, especially making such a big change to it, like removing the glass from the front. I have my Keurig on here finally, so the other way it was, you were not able to access the sides except through that middle door, and everything else was kind of stationary. So I love that now everything is open and accessible, and I can't wait to make this over for all the different holidays and seasons. Please give this video a thumbs up for me. If you're not subscribed, please do. I'll have even more DIYs and tutorials popping up on the screen for you to check out next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.